Hi, my name is Grant Wynn. I'm an aspiring filmmaker in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I wanted to start making these videos to help out others who were also aspiring filmmakers, specifically those who are newer, who are trying to figure out things about editing or cinematography, directing, whatever it may be. I'm not claiming that I'm an expert in any of these fields, but I do know enough to where I feel like I could provide some guidance or some sort of assistance to those that are trying to figure out this crazy world of filmmaking. And filmmaking can be really intimidating at first. It's still, to me, intimidating sometimes, being on set or editing, especially After Effects. I have a friend who tells me that he believes that everybody should coach up the next generation of workers in whatever profession it is. This is kind of me just wanting to give back for all those who have poured into me already, who have given a lot of their time to help me out when I've been like completely lost and have no idea what to do. So what I'm doing with this is a thank you to those people. I really do appreciate it. And this is hopefully going to be an assistant to those who are wanting to figure out some things about film in the future. So for this first video, we're gonna go into Premiere Pro and talk about how you can actually fix shaky footage. All right, so we are in Premiere Pro. Go ahead, you have all these tabs up here. Come to the Effects tab, and you should have a similar setup to this. Got your effects controls, your we'll get to that in a second, your effects search bar, your timeline, what you're viewing, all that stuff. So I have two clips here. This one's pretty shaky, got a lot going on with this. This one's barely, just got a little bit of shake in it, just a little bit. So if you don't see any of these, these things right here, especially the search bar, that can sometimes not be there for whatever reason. Come into here, window, and you can see effects controls, all that stuff. So, and if there's any other stuff that you want that's not showing up, you can click it on right there. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start with this clip right here, select it, and we're gonna type in what I had earlier, warp. We're gonna look for warp stabilizer. Just gonna throw that on right quick. What it's gonna do, it's gonna start analyzing it. These frames right here, we're gonna speed through this right quick. All right, it's done stabilizing it. And if you wanna look at it, take a look. It has now stabilized it. Something you wanna be careful of is I usually try to tone it back a little bit, because usually it punches in pretty far to help stabilize it. And it can distort the video. As you can see, it's doing it a little bit here. But we can look at the difference with and without it. So there's without, nice little shake. And then go ahead and add that back on. Boom, stable. All right, we don't need that anymore. So we're gonna go over to this one. This one's a little bit more rough. It's got some sharper kind of movements that we're gonna have to deal with. Go ahead and throw it on there. We're gonna go ahead and speed through this. Boom, it's done, it punches in, and now it is stabilized. Now, with stuff like this where there's quite a bit of kind of movement, jerkiness, it's just like, without the warp stabilizer, you can see there's kind of some sharper movements. It is gonna have a little bit of distortion. That's why I say you take this smoothness number right here and you kind of tone it back, somewhere around 10, 15, also so it doesn't crop in as much. You have your different methods and stuff, results of what it can do, framing, the method, all that stuff. But you wanna be careful with this, because if you go too much, 525, it just completely crops in, and then you're just looking at it like that, and it's weird. Oh, that's actually dope, is it? Oh, it's like moving. That's kind of cool. Anyways, I get distracted. But yeah, so you want to keep it down, nothing too much, use it sparingly. You can even see that it kind of creates like these little micro jitters in it. Can kind of do that, which is not always desirable, and it's never really desirable. So you have to be careful to tone it back to where it's not super intense. Yeah, it's just, you don't want to crank this too high. Going over 50 is usually not the greatest move, but yep, there you go. That's warp stabilizer. Use it to your advantage however you can.